Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. The reason you see me.
We begin right now with a major development in the explosion of Bar 5015 5 years ago that was caught on camera. That popular spot blew up 5 years ago, scattering debris all over the place.
Yeah, and this afternoon, 3 arrests in this case, including the former owner of the embattled Turkey Leg Hut. Lynn Price is accused of paying people to send that bar up in flames.
Price and his alleged accomplices appearing in federal court in the last 2 hours. Jason Miles live there with the latest details. Jason.
Hey there, guys. Yeah, I just got word that Lynn Price will be held in federal custody until a detention hearing next Thursday. Meanwhile, 2 alleged accomplices heard charges against them this afternoon before being released pending their next court dates here in federal court. Take a look. Lynn Price's indictment is for conspiracy to commit arson of a commercial building, that bar, and conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle. Now, according to investigators, Price plotted to set fire to Bar 5015, which was owned by another former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut. I covered that fire nearly 5 years ago, which resulted in a big explosion, as you mentioned, at the bar out on Alameda Road. The FBI says Lynn Price allegedly recruited and paid co-defendants Armani Williams and John Lee Price, no relation, and others to pour gas in the bar, then set it on fire. In a separate incident, Lynn Price accused of paying John Lee Price and others to set fire to a stolen car. We spoke with John Lee Price's attorney just a short time ago. Here's a little bit of what she had to say.
This is a classic example of being very mindful of the company that you keep. Sometimes the company that you keep can get you in trouble.
John Lee Price is also facing federal charges in an unrelated drug case over in Mississippi, which his attorney did not want to discuss. If convicted, all 3 men face up to 20 years in prison, a $250,000 fine for the arson-related charges back here in Houston. You may recall, and all of us covered stories from time to time, the Turkey Leg Hut was basically the toast of the town at one point, but it permanently closed last December. Thanks to a court-ordered lease termination. Of course, that followed several lawsuits, a bankruptcy, even health code violations. Reporting live from federal court downtown, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
Wow, man, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Man, listen, man, I seen this yesterday. This is crazy. And the thing I want to say is, man, Lynn, you had all them cars parked out there. Let me first say the love of money is the root of all evil, is what the words say. And I just want to say, man, the competition thing is real, and I get it, but this right here is over the top for me. Y'all need to put them gas cans down in Houston, Texas. I'm telling you right now, reality TV, man, what the hell is going on with Lynn at the Turkey Leg Hut being accused of blowing up 5015?
Well, we know this happens a lot. People try to do stuff like this all the time. But he got to remember that he is a man of color.
Wow.
And they going to come after you. They going to investigate and find out what really happened.
5 years later, 5015 blew up. It's being rebuilt now. Turkey Leg Hut is shut down. Now he had an oyster place. I seen it when I was out there a few weeks ago. Yeah. And he was doing good. I went over to Turkey Leg Hut and talked to him. I went over there and was, you know, showing love to the black business owners, him and his wife. Actually, I met both of them on a few occasions and reached out to them. Yeah, well, during this time they was together, and I remember when they.
So she probably don't want to be.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. It seemed fishy to me that she just bounced like that when she did. She knew it was some smoke somewhere.
She knew she was trying to get away from.
She didn't want to be a part of something like that, and she definitely wanted to detach herself early on, is what I'm thinking.
Well, good job.
Well, let me just say, man, this here is ridiculous if it's true. It's alleged any man's innocent to proven guilty, but they have got him on the news, and they're basically saying He's the one that blew this shop up, and it paid these two boys, the Price boys.
They saying he did it. It ain't.
It's pretty much it's an act of, boy, it's tough because he was crying when they picked him up. I'm about to read this article. Let me read this right quick. Hold on. They say he was in tears, man. This, man, because man, you understand when you've been locked up before. No, he been locked up before. He don't want to go. He don't want to deal with this, man.
He crying because his life is everything that he was doing, everything he was doing wrong. It was all fun and games until he got caught.
All right, let me read. Let me read this here. He say, former owner of Turkey Leg Hut arrested after federal grand jury indicted meant for a 2020 bar explosion. Houston, Lynn Price, the former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, who now owns the Oyster Hut, has been indicted in 3 federal charges. Lynn Price, 42, was in tears when he was pulled over and arrested on Thursday after he left his girlfriend's house. A source familiar with the case told KPRC 2's Bryce Newberry. Boy, that's wild. He is currently on federal custody. Hold on, let me keep reading. He is currently on federal custody and will remain there at least until the detention hearing scheduled for next Thursday at 10 a.m. Also in custody are Armani Williams, 27, John Lee Price, 39, both also of Houston. The 3-count indictments filed April 8th in the Southern District of Texas alleges Lynn Price and others conspired to set fire a bar 5015 in June of 2020. The charges alleged the owner of the bar was a former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut and Lynn Price's business partner. In early June 12, 2020, Lynn Price had allegedly recruited a group which included Williams, John Price, and others. The charges alleges William, John Price, and others were involved in pouring gasoline at the entrance and before igniting a fire at the bar 5015 on June 12, 2020. Lynn Price and his co-conspirator agreed and to provide a payment to the crew, tasked with starting a fire according to the indictment. Wow, guys, this is crazy. But like I said, these was entrepreneurs, man, who had changed their life. He had already been locked up before. Now he's having to go back into this situation. He's very well aware of what he's about to face. And I'm guaranteeing you that's what brought down the tears. Because I'm telling you, you don't want to go back down that road. Because when you go back, a lot of people, if they get a chance, they'll commit suicide and everything not to go back into these situations. I just thank God that he was able not to have to deal with that. But go ahead, Reality TV, because I'm getting stirred up now.
Well, the news people messing because they didn't have to say he was coming from his girlfriend's house.
Oh, they just doing their job. I mean, once you caught with your hand in the cookie jar, if this is true, I can't blame them because that man built that business up at 5015. If this is true, and I think that's life change for him. He just got his place back built and operating, and it's just tough, man, because they got to going back and forth at each other, and and it's sad that this happened like this.
Well, you can't do things and think that. You can't do things and then run away from the consequences. You got to be prepared for whatever's to come. If you're doing wrong, just be prepared for what's to come.
Wow.
And man up and stand 10 toes down and do what you got to do. A woman too. If you're doing wrong, just stand 10 toes down and face the consequences, no matter what it is.
Wow. I'm going to play another clip from another news channel. I got to play this clip because this channel too, and that one I was kind of reading, but boy, they about to call that. The court hearing has happened at this point right here, guys. You got to listen in on this. Check this out. This is wild.
Rock, the museum district, the former co-owner of a famed Houston restaurant, has been indicted for arson by a federal grand jury. The Turkey Leg Hut's Lynn Price and others allegedly targeted bar 5015 and Price's own business partner. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry was in the federal courthouse today when Price made his first appearance.
Early in the morning, June 12th, 2020, surveillance video showed the masked men dumping cans of gas on the deck at bar 5015 on Alameda. Soon, a fire ignited. Museum district neighbors felt the blast. And drone video of the aftermath showed the destruction. Despite those clear images, years passed before a federal grand jury returned this 3-count indictment. It accuses former Turkey Leg Hut co-owner Lynn Price of being the mastermind that paid others for the explosion, targeting his one-time restaurant business partner who owned the bar. Armani Williams and John Lee Price, unrelated to Lynn Price, allegedly bought gas, cans, and masks before driving to the bar, setting it ablaze, and within 3 minutes, prosecutors say Lynn Price got the call, the arson was completed. John Lee Price's attorney.
This is a classic example of being very mindful of the company that you keep. Sometimes the company that you keep can get you in trouble. We look forward to looking into the charges.
No cameras were allowed inside the courtroom, but with his mother watching, Lynn Price stood before the judge with handcuffs and shackles to hear the allegations. Amid other legal woes and health inspection violations, the Turkey Leg Hut shut down last November. Lynn Price opened a new restaurant, and Bar 5015 has since rebuilt. Other people have been charged in the conspiracy to burn it down, prosecutors say, but they're not yet arrested, so not yet named, all connected to the well-known entrepreneur who now faces up to 25 years in prison. Armani Williams and John Lee Price have been released on bond, but Lynn Price is expected back in federal court next week for a detention hearing when his attorney says he looks forward to getting him a bond. At the federal courthouse, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
Wow, see? You know what I mean? His mama's in court. He's in shackles. They going back down that lonely highway. I'm telling you right now, this is not a good look for Lynn. He was going down, taking all his cars down there with Rick Ross and them, and they was having fun, and it was all good for the last 5 years. I seen him in between. I never would have guessed it. And to be honest with you, I know how competition is. And being a business owner, I have been threatened, and I didn't engage it. I just upped my insurance. But I was down in Queen City, and the dude drove up, thought I was talking to his girlfriend because I was changing out hundreds. This was years ago, because I would get a lot of money selling clothes on the weekend. Didn't want to travel with a lot of 20s and singles. So I would go over there and get my little old hundreds from her. He thought I was trying to holler at her. Next thing you know, I'm driving back. He pulled up beside me. I'm not interested in his girl. He look at me and say, "Nigga, that's your store across there from my girl. You over there trying to holler at my girl? And he says, "I'll burn your store up." I said, "Nigga, what is wrong with you? Man, listen, man, that's your girl." But I'm telling you, he threatened to burn the store up. This is one of the things that people think in their mind. Now, I hope that boy from this other 5015 has insurance, or did have insurance. I'm pretty sure he did. So it doesn't do nothing but slow the process down, and maybe I can build a better location. But he didn't burn it down. They start breaking into my building down there, but I don't know if he had anything to do with it. But I'm just telling you how people think. They will burn your place up, and these people conspired together to get rid of the competition. And so if this is true, somebody burnt down this restaurant, and they strongly believe it was Lynn and his crew. Talk to me.
Evidence. They got evidence.
Yeah, when the feds come, it's tough. When the feds come, it's tough. So I miss them turkey legs. Let me just say that, man.
Oh my God.
Let me tell y'all how much I used to go by there. I take my wife, eat them turkey legs, man. One of the best places to stop by. Would even bring them back. I took my nephews and stuff over there. I took everybody over there. We go down there for a trip. We hanging out. They taking pictures with me since I was Boss Talk. People got pictures of me. That's one guy showed me in Longview. He was like, "Man, you remember I seen you at the Turkey Leg Hut? And man, I wanted to take pictures with you. And I took pictures with you." I said, "Man, you don't know me." I told you don't know me. Get on back with that. He went in his phone and scrolled so far, and he found, "See right here, this man, you at the Turkey Leg Hut." I said, "Man, you right, bro. You did see me that day. I can't deny it. That's my picture." The one thing about these cameras and these cell phones, let me say this. If you cannot say it in court, do not say it on the cell phone, because 3 minutes later is what they saying. They done call up Lynn from the burning location where they got cell towers everywhere. And now they're pinging him and pinging him. They pinging him. They pinging the next guy. And the next thing you know, everybody's in trouble now. 5 years ago, they got the pings and everything still. Now I want you to hear that right there, what I just said. From 5 years ago, They got the pings, they got the conversations, they got the indictment. 3 pages long. You just seen it on the news. It's crazy, man, because I really, really liked the restaurant and the lady, his old lady. I seen her. Me and my wife was there. Him and his wife was there. We was having a great time that day.
Let me say, since you said that, shout out to the wife for getting away from all that mess.
You know what? All you women do is try to stick together. No, I'm sick of it. I mean, man, listen, I don't know. I don't think she one of the ones that they gonna pick up. But if she better make sure there is no cause, there is no. Let me tell you. Let me say this. She is a lawyer. She is a lawyer, and I'm gonna tell you something. They will comb this with a fine-tooth comb.
And that's fine.
And so she is. I think she is an attorney, and they gonna be looking up every situation and every single way that this thing could have linked to whoever it may be. I'm gonna tell you right now. She better. If this is true. If this is true. She better get on her knees and thank God that she didn't get caught up in it.
Yes,
because I'm going to tell you something right now. That is crazy.
In prison with they man. So I am so happy that she didn't get caught up in it. Listen,
well, as allegedly, and to be honest with you, we don't know yet. Lynn he cried. He was in tears. And I would be in tears too. Let me say that. Let me say that first of all too. If they hit me, and me knowing what I've been through already, and I have had all this stuff I done accomplished while I've been out here, and I have been free a man for years and have been successful, and they hit me with a FBI charge, best believe you better get the tissue, because I'm going to be teared up. It's going to hurt me because I'm losing. Now you go from living in a nice home, comfortable home, to going and sleeping on a concrete slab somewhere in a jumper, waiting on trial and waiting on arraignment. 2 guys done got out, which probably done already signed statements on him. They done bonded out. We don't know what's going on. Lynn can't get out. They building these cases up right now. And I'm telling you, this here looks bad for Lynn. This is not a good look for Lynn.
I hate to see black men. Just not race go to prison or anybody go to prison or jail or whatever. But at the same time, you still have to be mindful that this is the consequence of the actions that you're doing. So it's hard to feel sorry for people that know what's the consequence.
Man,
That's for anything though. That's for anything in life. Like this, people gotta be. I think people be delusional. I think people don't live in reality of what's really going on, because you know damn well if you burn something up, and you know if you got accomplices and you get caught, somebody gonna tell you.
Definitely.
That's like, if you do a crime, do it by yourself, because you can't tell on yourself.
Definitely.
But you can.
Well, I'm just, this here caught me by surprise. I really, well, I never would have thought that this man was up there with a gas can somewhere blowing up the competition, allegedly, the way these people making it out to be reality TV. You couldn't have told, you wouldn't have knew that. That man and his wife looked like they were structured to win. He done opened up an oyster place across the street somewhere. I seen it, line of people out there now, and I think he had moved one outside of town too. He might have closed that one up in town, but at any rate, man, our people, bro, and I love our people, and I love seeing them being entrepreneurs, and I love seeing, all the stuff that's going on, man, to try to, see us push the needle a little bit because of all the major setbacks for the mind, the major setbacks, the major times we done had issues. You know what I mean? Now this shook his whole family up, his kids and all of the stuff that go with it. Lynn gonna have to face these charges now. The indictment is pretty much is pinned against him. He had about 20 cars out in the front of the restaurant. It was always lined up with them old schools. He was taking them on trailers down there to Rick Ross's. He was doing different events with having his cars. I asked him about the cars and all the stuff he had going on. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know him like that because I'm, definitely, I think from Carl Crawford and all the other guys I was visiting down there, they would all big up the turkey leg hut. So I showed him respect and went by there, but I never did just link with him like he was my partner or nothing like that. I can't say that, but You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really, I didn't get a feel like that. And I'm not trying to be funny. It's just certain people, God put you, in cahoots with. And when me and him met, and me and my wife attested this, I was like, nah, I knew that me and him wasn't, no, man, no. Because you can sense, God give you a spirit of discernment. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but you got to listen. When you've been through the fire already, you ain't finna starting fires again when God changed your life. I'm telling you that right now. Let me say that again. When you've been through the fire already, you're not finna start setting fires when God done changed your life, bro. So if you get me for something like that, y'all can just rest assured they done framed me. Because I'm not going to be fooling with nothing unless it's something to deal with my family or put them in jeopardy or danger, then we straight. But if you play that road, then we're going to be back in that street mode again. Family is the only thing I think and that comes to my kids and stuff. But other than that, just all this burning a place up, we can always compete. I'm not going to do none of that. So, man, I hope he can beat this. I know you done already convicted him and threw away the key, reality TV.
Me?
Yeah.
If somebody got things like that on you, baby, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, we praying for Lynn and we praying for his family and
pray for everybody.
Yeah.
We pray for everybody. We want everybody to make it to heaven, but we know everybody not.
He can change, and I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I'm gonna give him.
I'm not saying in general. I'm just saying, but we know. Like I said, we gotta be real.
Yeah.
It can be my daddy. If my daddy burnt down something and he did
allegedly, man, we ain't convicted him yet. Reality TV, you just throwing him under the bus.
Well, listen, I watch crime TV shows, and if your phones is pinging and they got transfers and all this, and like I said, somebody gonna tell.
Wow, man.
For so get ready. I'm sorry to talk like this, but the truth hurts.
Wow.
And we don't want to hear it.
Wow. Hey, y'all heard Reality TV? I want y'all to get in these comments, man, and let me know what you think about Lynn and the Turkey Leg Hut, the former owner of Turkey Leg Hut being indicted. FBI picks him up. His mother and him are in court. He's not being released on bond, but his two assailants, they are released. Let me know what you think. And get in these comments, because I want to know. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.